She turned Bob Marley's name into a multi-million-dollar empire, then retreated into the hills of Ghana like a queen in exile. They called her the Widow. She became the CEO. Rita Marley didn't inherit a throne. She built one. No need for applause. Just carved teak doors, incense-filled villas, and caftans cut like royalty. Her luxury wasn't loud. It was layered. Not jets and diamonds, but gardens, silence, and legacy set in stone. She didn't flex millions. She moved like someone who knew exactly what they were meant to protect. In a world that worships kings, queens are often treated like footnotes, but not this one. Rita Marley is the woman who turned legacy into leverage, the strategist who stood beside Bob Marley on stage and stood above the chaos when he passed. While the world danced to Bob's music, she built the machine behind the sound, managed copyrights, closed global deals, raised the next generation, and turned one man's message into a movement that outlived him. Born Alfarita Constancia Anderson on July 25, 1946, in Santiago de Cuba, to Jamaican parents of Afro-Cuban descent, Rita was raised in Trench Town, Kingston, a neighborhood known for two things: poverty and rhythm. It was there, between zinc fences and Rastafari chants, that she discovered both struggle and salvation. The music wasn't just art, it was armor. And faith wasn't just belief, it was resistance. By her teens, Rita had joined the Solettes, an all-female vocal group. They recorded at Studio One, Jamaica's version of Motown, and that's where she met Bob. He wasn't famous yet, just a quiet young man writing songs and playing guitar. But Rita saw it, the intensity behind his stillness, and he saw something too: strength, discipline, calm fire. They didn't just fall in love, they aligned. Their marriage in 1966 wasn't a romance, it was a merger of destinies. Together they built something spiritual, revolutionary, dangerous. But make no mistake, Rita wasn't a backup singer in her own story. She co-founded the I-Threes, helped define the Marley sound, and anchored Bob's creative chaos with structure, vision, and belief. While Bob toured the world, Rita held the home together, musically, emotionally, spiritually. Through fame, through affairs, through political violence. In December 1976, just 2 days before the Smile Jamaica concert, gunmen stormed the Marley home in Kingston. Bob was wounded in the arm and chest. Rita was grazed near the scalp. And yet 2 nights later, Bob and Rita took the stage, head bandaged, eyes clear. Not as victims, as warriors with unbroken spirits. Message undelayed, because the mission was bigger than pain. Then, in 1981, everything changed. Bob died of cancer, no will, millions at stake, a growing legacy with no roadmap. The empire could have shattered. The vultures were circling. But Rita, she stepped forward, quietly, strategically, ruthlessly if necessary. She fought legal battles, protected his music rights, fought off distant relatives and opportunists. She held the family together, raising not just her own children, but all of Bob's kids from other relationships. And she made sure every one of them carried more than just the Marley name. They carried the discipline, the foundation, the fire. From Ziggy to Stephen to Damien, Rita didn't just raise artists, she trained architects of impact. She taught them how to lead bands, run companies, sign fair contracts, and stand for something beyond the spotlight. Today, the Marley children are Grammy winners, business owners, and activists. Not because of fame, but because Rita taught them how to move with vision. They didn't inherit success. They were groomed to protect a legacy. Today, the Marley estate is worth hundreds of millions. It's one of the most valuable music legacies in the world. And behind that valuation stands Rita. Strategic, elegant, untouchable. The Bob Marley brand reportedly generates over $25 million a year in licensing, streaming, and merchandise. The museum at 56 Hope Road alone attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors annually, generating more than $5 million each year and turning sacred space into cultural capital. Global licensing deals with brands like Marley Natural and House of Marley expand the empire across industries, from wellness to sound systems, add in fashion collaborations, music rights, and you begin to understand this isn't nostalgia, it's an empire. And while the numbers climb, Rita Marley remains the architect behind the balance sheet. Quiet, calculated, unmatched. But Rita didn't stop at Jamaica. In the 1990s, she made a move most billionaires wouldn't dare. She left behind the flash of the West and made Ghana her second home. Not as an escape, but as a reclamation, a spiritual return, a planting of roots. There in the lush hills of Aburi, she bought 20 hectares of land, built a sanctuary of stone, spirit, and sound. A place where prayer gardens meet recording studios, where ancestral presence meets modern intention. Evenings at the estate weren't lavish. They were luminous. Fires lit, drums played, and wisdom shared among guests from Accra to Kingston. The estate isn't just property, it's purpose. And from this base, she launched the Rita Marley Foundation, funding schools, clinics, women's programs, and literacy initiatives across Africa and the Caribbean. She built a school in Kankanuru, funded clean water access for villages, supplied healthcare to remote communities, trained young artists, and provided grants to grassroots projects. In Ethiopia, her foundation funded a mobile clinic that serves hundreds of patients each week. In Zimbabwe, she helped launch a music program for orphans. And in Ghana, she supported reforestation initiatives tied to youth education. Because for Rita, sustainability isn't just environmental, it's generational. Every project she backs carries two things: cultural identity and economic empowerment. While others open offshore accounts, she invested in land. While others flex luxury, she built legacy. This is what wealth looks like when it's rooted. Even her appearance is curated with meaning. She wears caftans like royalty, hand-woven cotton, brocade, silk, often in deep reds, emerald greens, golden earth tones, many embroidered with sacred symbols and stories. She doesn't follow trends, she channels lineage. Her jewelry, not for sparkle, for statement. Bold neck pieces, carved beads, ancestral metals, each piece telling a story of exile, faith, fire, and rebirth. She doesn't dress to be seen, she dresses to declare, and the world noticed. Jamaica awarded her the Order of Distinction. She received the Marcus Garvey Lifetime Achievement Award. She's been honored in state banquets, cultural summits, and global music events. Presidents, diplomats, and royals have welcomed her, not just as Bob's widow, but as a matriarch in her own right. Not loud, not flashy, just steady, powerful, revered. She never tried to outshine Bob. She made sure his light stayed on. She didn't seek the spotlight. But when she entered the room, the spotlight followed. And though she stepped back from public life in recent years, her presence is everywhere. In every Marley song, in every reggae festival, in every child who drinks clean water in a Ghanaian village she helped fund, in every female entrepreneur in Jamaica whose first loan came from her foundation, in every room where Black excellence is discussed, and her name is spoken with awe. Because Rita Marley didn't inherit an empire. She built one. She didn't need headlines. She wrote history. She didn't just carry the legacy, she became the legacy. This isn't just the story of a reggae queen, it's the blueprint of quiet domination. She is power without noise, grace without compromise, legacy without permission. This is Rita Marley, the architect, the empire builder, the queen mother of reggae royalty.